Hello, I am Dr. Brenda Teal. I am your online math instructor this spring semester. And I just wanted to kind of take a moment to send you an announcement, but I am sending it via video announcement this time. This will give me an opportunity to share my screen. It may be a lot better than just a long announcement, but we can take a deep breath. My analogy of the semester, I always think of it like the American football analogy of 4 quarters to a semester. So you have 2 quarters, then you had a halftime, and then you have a third quarter, fourth quarter, and then ultimately crossing the finish line. That's a touchdown, but more importantly, that the class is over. And right now we are wrapping up the second quarter of the semester, and we are about to go into halftime, which is the spring break. And when we get after spring break, we'll be looking at polynomials and exponents, which is the next section. But what I want to do is that I want to look at what we are actually doing right now. And what I want to do is I want to share my screen. I hope I'm sharing my screen here. I'm going to Blackboard. I'm going to syllabus and schedule. And what I want to do is I just want to look at both of these schedules right now. I'm not really sure which one you follow throughout the semester to stay on track, but I'm going to look at both of them. And maybe you just look at the announcements weekly. But if you look at the syllabus, this is our spring 2021 syllabus. That's my name. And these are all the numbers you can contact me. I can be contacted at my Google phone and my office phone and my Google phone, and also via Remind as well. So this will give you an opportunity to kind of just stroll through the syllabus this semester, kind of look at the distributions of the grade. If you want to look at the distribution of the grade, just kind of give you an opportunity to look through the syllabus. The last day to drop the class is Friday, April 16th. So, students drop for a lot of different reasons, and we'll be talking about that once we get closer to April 16th. But more importantly, after you finish this class, these are the classes that you're going to have to take next. So if you get an A, you can go to Math 125, and we're going to look at a flow chart before it's over. Some students may go to 0104, and if you need Math 113 or 114, that may be an option for you as well. So these are all the classes that you're going to go to based on the grade that you get in this class. I want to take a moment to, we have some tutoring available. Some of us, if we're going to be struggling, all you have to do is just click on these links and you can just go right into a tutoring session. These are the times that they're open, Saturday and Sunday. If you want to make an appointment, you can click on this link to go an appointment. So I just want to re-emphasize that there is virtual tutoring in this virtual world that we're on. But more importantly, I want to just stroll down to the calendar about where we are. This is a calendar that this is the week ending March 13th. And this is where we are right now. We're ending March 13th. Today is March 8th. And so this ended on Saturday. And basically, we're regrouping and reviewing for exam 2. And exam 2 is on graphing. There's 3 sections on graphing. So this is where we are. And before spring break, before halftime, I wanted to take a look at 4.1 and 4.2, section 4.1 and 4.2 here, because the next section is on polynomials and exponents. And I think that you will find those sections are not as challenging. But we can work through those throughout the break. And then we'll have the third exam. And then our last section will be on the last section, chapter 5 will be on factoring and quadratic equations. And that's unit 5. We'll take exam 4. We still got a couple of weeks to regroup in terms of studying for the 2 weeks to study for the final exam and catch up on it and miss assignments and stuff. And then you have 2 days to take the final exam, which would be Tuesday, May 4th and Wednesday, May 5th. So that's just a calendar that's at the end of the syllabus. And if you look at that, then you will can kind of go through the syllabus at the same time. The other document on the schedule, syllabus and schedule, is I have an online calendar here. And this is like a real date calendar. Sometimes students are more comfortable looking at just a calendar in general. But this is where we are. We're at the end of week 13 here. And we're wrapping up the sections on Unit 3, which is on graphing. I have the last day to take this exam on Thursday. So that's kind of what I'm pushing for. Today is Monday. And so if you haven't gotten started, though, you still have a few days. This is where I like to wrap it up, because it's important for us to take this test before spring break, because I really wanted you to look at exponents and polynomials before the spring break. Most students find out that it's not that challenging. And then after spring break, we'll wrap those sections up. The first test or the third test is on April 1st. So that's when we'll have that test. And then we have the Chapter 5. You can start advanced registering for the fall semester or the summer. Again, August 16th is the last day to withdraw. But I still want to point out that we still have 2 weeks here at the end of the semester to kind of catch up and make up any grades and review for the final exam. So we can do a lot of stuff here. And again, you have 2 days to take the final exam, either the 4th of May or the 5th of May. So this will just give you a general idea about kind of where we are in the semester. I want to go right now. I want to actually look at Educo, because we're in graphing. Some students are ready to take the exam, and I've already given out the password. To some students, but some students are kind of struggling. And when I say struggling, that means that they haven't really started the assignments. So if you haven't started the assignments, let me show you where you should go. Let's see, So you should be in Educo, and let me tell you how you are going to study. So it's like, you're in this online environment, and how are you going to study? So there are 3 ways that students can study for this. 3 ways that I recommend the students study for this Chapter 3 exam. And we're on Educo right now. I'm hoping that you can see in my screen here. So once you are on Educo, there's a couple of ways you can study for Chapter 3. And this is the first way that I'm going to recommend, because I really took a lot of painstaking efforts to get some videos up. So if you go under resources here, down here at the bottom, go into resources and then web links. So if you go into web links and just kind of scroll down a little bit, you have the first plotting points you'll see. So I have the sections right beside it. So this is 3.1. This one is like 7 minutes. This one is 20 minutes, but it's a little long, but they try to keep them about 10 minutes. So these are the first 3 videos that you can watch. And when you watch them, I recommend that you take some notes here. So here's 3.2 is 10 minutes. 3.3 is a couple of sections here, but they're only like 7 minutes. And here's one that's like 4 minutes, maybe 13 minutes, 5 minutes. Again, there's 4 sections in Chapter 3 on graphing, and I call all of this graphing. Chapter 3, I call it the graphing section, but it's linear equations and 2 variables. And then if you look on 3.4, I have a lot of, on 3.4, but this was like 3 minutes. This one's like 8 minutes. So I don't want to, I want you to kind of give you a good lesson about what it was, but I didn't want it to be too long. And I've looked at each one of these, and all of these are practical to our lesson. So this is one way. And if you look on Blackboard, they're under the student lounge, some students have commented that the videos were helpful. So this is one way you can look at that way and start. You can look at these videos, take some notes, and start working on the assignments. The other way that you could work on the assignments, or how you're going to learn, how you're going to learn this. So one way is the videos that I've put out. The other way is that if you go under resources, and I'm sure that, go into course tools, and I'm sure that you've already probably done this, and that is go to the tutorials here. So if you go to tutorials, we're in chapter 3 here, linear equations and 2 variables. And there's, section 3.1, 2, and 3, and you can just kind of go through the tutorials. This is 3.1. You can continue to click on it, and then they have some examples here, identifying solutions to the linear equation. So you can kind of click on the examples here. And when you click on the examples, you can do new version as well, and keep on practicing these under tutorials. So again, some ways that you can actually learn. When you start talking about learning, you can go on the resources and click on the web links and look at some of the videos. Make sure that you take some notes. And you can also go under course tools and look at the tutorials here on chapter 3. Just click on these and go through some of the examples. And the last way that you can do it is if you click down here on the resources, or the third way that you can learn on graphing is under resources. And then there's an ebook here. So if you click on the ebook, again, now you have your graphing, linear equations in chapter 3. So if you click on it, this is just like a book. This is like a textbook. And I think that the best way you can do it is just look at some of the examples here. Just look at some of the examples in the book. So this is just like an ebook. I'm going to increase it a little bit. So this is just a book, 3.1 linear equations and 2 variables, talks about equations. And more importantly, if I were to use this, I would just kind of go over the examples, verify that this is a solution to this equation. And then over in the left here, there's a couple of warm-up examples here. And then the answers are down here at the bottom. So basically you have 3 ways to kind of, I'm going to say, learn based on how you want to learn. And that is, you can go to the videos that are under web links resources. You can go to the tutorials, which are under course tools, or you can look at the ebook. The other thing that I want to kind of share with you, or maybe not share, maybe just remind you of, and that is that when we go to Blackboard, I wanted to make sure that you kind of zone in on the discussion board. If you have any questions, you can always ask questions, ask the questions for the professor. So you can always put some questions here. Make sure that if you put here, everybody can see these questions. So, if you have something relevant that you want to ask about, beginning date, end dates, or passwords, you can put it there. And you can also go to Student Lounge. And this is where I found out that a student actually looked at the videos on graphing and thought that they were very helpful. So, if you look at the videos or have any other questions, you can always kind of go here and check out through the Student Lounge. And if you ever forget, how to contact me or anything, if you click on faculty information here on the Blackboard, you know, I kind of give you an explanation about who I am here. And then, you know, you can always email me. Here's the office number. I'll answer that. The Google number is probably good because that rings straight to my phone, or you can always send me a text through Remind. You can contact me. And remember, you can always go to the discussion board here in Blackboard and post a question for my professor. So there's lots of ways for you to get in contact with me. There's lots of ways you can get in contact with me. The exam was going to be on Thursday. It's 11. This is the last that I got. I know some students are behind, but I'm trying to get the video out to maybe encourage you. I may do some phone calling. So, you know, we can stay on track for this semester. The last thing that I want to mention is that if you go under course content, one of the things that I try to speak to students about is about their next math class that they're going to take. And this is a flow chart that's under course content in Blackboard. And this is where we are now. All students are in this Math 0071. So you really want to know, based on your major, what class you're going to go to next. Some students may go to Math 113, 114 if you're into quantitative statistics. If you're into teacher education, then you need Math 1040. If you need 1250 here, remember, if you need 1250, if you get an A in DVM 071, Math 071, you can go to 1250 here as a co-requisite. And if you need Math 1350, then you have to go to Math 0104. So it's important that you know as you cross the finish line where you're going to go next, because perhaps you may even register for a class, before the semester is over. And the other thing that I want to mention is that under Blackboard, we have I just put an announcement out there, and this is an announcement about STEM Week. So I hope you see the STEM Week activities. STEM Week activities are after spring break. This is a flyer down here, so you can kind of look at it and see if there's anything interested. And then, of course, it's virtual and it's free. So just kind of log in on some of the things that are, you know, they talk about aerobatics, the COVID outreach. They got a couple of things here. So I'd like for you to, it'd be nice if someone could participate in STEM Week. And again, this is after spring break, and, you know, share it in the student lounge. So I think that's what's going on. This is just a quick video just to kind of engage you. I hope you're doing well out there. Take care of yourself in this COVID environment. Right now, we're still virtual, and my goal is to try to guide you and answer all the questions that you have to get you across the finish line in May. And again, now look through that syllabus and click on that link and try the tutoring. And if you enjoyed, post it in Student Lounge so other students can really see how easy it is. Okay, if you have any questions, make sure you reach out and touch me accordingly. And, you know, reach out to your fellow students as well. All right. So we are wrapping up the second semester and the second half of the quarter, getting ready for halftime. But, you know, halftime is not really halftime. You're not sitting down and rest. You're kind of hulling down, kind of strategizing, seeing what happened in the first two quarters. And then, more importantly, regrouping to see how we're going to make it through the third and the fourth quarter and ultimately across the finish line in May. Okay, so I wish you the best, and these are your announcements for the week ending in the 13th, and in the STEM, and to advise you of the STEM week after spring break. And after this week, we'll be jumping right into exponents and polynomials. Okay, I didn't post any videos this time because I think that the tutorials for the next semester is going to be enough, because I don't think it's very challenging from, you know, from a student perspective. Okay, So that's it for this week. It's the 5th week of the semester because this was a late starting class. So this is a 5th week of class. And this takes us to week 5, week 6. Next week is spring break. And week 7, I'll see you when we'll be wrapping up exponents and polynomials. Okay. Have a great weekend. Really take some notes when you are looking at the videos. All right. Bye-bye.